Hello, 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 hello. I am Austin Kedoff, your host, producer, awkward personality, and shaman in the world of music. This is the OverDubs Podcast, episode number 1. With me today is Mr. Andrew Weber, a guitar player I was in a band with for a few years, and to be honest, that's all I know about the guy. How's it going?
Not too bad, man. I like to maintain an aura of mystery, so that's totally fine with me.
I see you like 3 times a year, and then you just disappear for several months.
Yeah, that's more or less what my personality is. Most of my friends can attest to that.
Word. All right. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, like, do you want me to just wax philosophical about music in general?
Let's fucking go.
Or like what? Okay. Well, let's go to like my personal preferences in music, I guess. Also,
Yeah.
I'll never turn down a chance to be like a slight narcissist. So like, I appreciate this. Thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm the same way.
But yeah, like guitar player, I mainly go towards punk rock kind of stuff. Like I start off with the pop punky kind of stuff, like Green Day, Blink-182, all that kind of stuff. I am really embarrassed to say that the first band that I really got into was Simple Plan. If you know the little, like, I forget, they look like Game Boys, and you could put little discs in them, and they had like little discs about like 3 or 4 inches big, and there was one called Welcome to My Life where he's like sitting on a bridge, and it's emo as fuck.
I vaguely remember something like that.
Just terrible, like absolutely terrible. But if you ever look that up, horrible. But went from that to kind of, again, getting into Green Day, Blink-182, and then from that, harder punk rock stuff.
Would this have been around the time that they were like these massive, like...
Like huge superstars type
Yeah,
thing?
was this like early 2000s you were getting into these guys?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Mid? Yeah.
Yeah, it was right when American Idiot came out, and I could think of nothing more badass than saying the F word on national television or on Apple Music, or no, not Apple Music, iTunes at the time. And I was like, Dad, can you buy me this Green Day song? And I was like, I don't know, man. He says the F word, but that was kind of when I started really paying attention to music as opposed to just something being on. Like, I actually started to pay attention to what music was. Also, feel free to interrupt me at any point.
No, you're good. I'm just letting you talk. I think we're both very quiet, like reserved people. So like, I was excited when you're like, can I just wax Phyllis? I'm like, go for it. I don't have to talk. Shit, yeah, I remember 05? Yeah, 05.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was driving around in the car with my dad,
Mhm.
and I heard Wake Me Up When September Ends on the radio.
Yeah.
And like a typical fucking 8-year-old, I was just like, whoa, that's so deep and emotional and heavy. And I still like the song, but I was just, fuck. That whole album.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's still like a top 5er for me. Except for like 1 or 2 songs. But that.
Which ones?
Extraordinary Girl, which I think is kind of stupid. And Are We Are the Waiting. Like, I get it leads into St. Jimmy, but like still stupid, in my opinion. But yeah, like I like that stuff. Obviously, I started with the Beatles, like everybody does.
Except for me.
You don't like the what?
You said you started with them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't start with them.
Okay, I thought you were about to be like, I don't like the Beatles.
I also haven't gotten deep enough into their discography. I've heard the White Album.
I got you.
But
but no,
I haven't
like,
heard the majority of Abbey Road.
Okay.
And I haven't heard anything from Sgt. Pepper's.
Oh man. If you know,
I am not well versed on the Beatles.
Say, if you told me this before I came here, I might not have come. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
But no, like that's totally fine. I don't like people that judge other people for stuff that they're not into. Like,
yeah, like these fucking gatekeepers with the I don't think either one of us are incredibly deep into this world, but like some of the kind of the heavier with the metal stuff. I don't get it. Just let's fucking bag on somebody because they like Metallica.
Yeah, right.
It's like there's a reason Metallica's as big as they are.
Yeah, Metallica's cool. You could like Metallica. You could like fucking J-pop. You could like whatever you want except country music. But that's just just a personal preference of mine. But lately I've been honestly getting into rap quite a bit, which is not something like...
Yeah, that list you... One Way Fight. I was jamming to that when I was working today, actually. Yeah, it was a really... I don't know Something just worked out with it. It was good.
I like my friend Ron has really gotten me into that. Like don't know a lot about rap, mainly just because I'm like a milquetoast white guy from Wisconsin. But like I like Freddie Gibbs. Benny the Butcher is the greatest. His catchphrase is fantastic, and I cannot say it on this because I just look up what it is if you ever want to see it.
Yeah, I'm still getting this thing off the ground. I don't need to get canceled before turned on? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Turned on. Do I have to leave the room? Like, what's happening right now? Get it turned on.
I mean, you can stay for $20.
No, man. I mean,
it's like it's gonna be one of these shows.
No, dude. Like the list that I sent you, like Julian Baker. I've been really getting into that.
Well, that was my favorite out of the list.
Oh yeah.
I heard that. I actually listened to it twice in a row.
Oh shit.
I was like. I might have still been a little high from last night. I don't remember, but I was just like, I was hearing it, and I was like, "Fuck, that's it right there."
Yeah, like his last album. I got into her because she was in this band called Boy Genius with Phoebe Bridgers, who's big now, and her latest album, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's fantastic. It's about her relapsing into addiction and kind of coming with that, along with a lot of the dark things in her life. Like depression and all that, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. I certainly can. And just the way that she sings and the way that she accurately articulates what's going on in her life and all that is incredibly powerful, and I fucking love it. And
that was the vibe I got from it. It was very genuine.
Mm-hmm. She's just, you could tell she went through some shit, and you could tell that it's genuine, that it's real, and that she's not just doing it.
Dude, you can hear that with like singers and across any genre. You can tell with a singer if it was somebody else wrote these lyrics and somebody else did, when especially with some of the top 40 people, and I'm not going to shit on pop music. Some of it's good and all that, but like you can tell and like hear in their voice that they wrote that.
Oh yeah.
Or if somebody else wrote it. Yeah. You can just, I don't know.
Yeah, they connect, like they are genuine. Yeah, they connect with it, or like you could feel some sort of weird connection with it or whatever. And I only like a little bit of the top 40 stuff, like The Weeknd. Jam. I like The Weeknd.
I like his earlier stuff.
Well, like, was it more R&B type of stuff, or was it like, is it still kind of popish?
It was more R&B like, but it's kind of, you could hear it going in that direction, but it was still enjoyable, I thought.
Okay. I've only I got into just his latest album because I kept seeing stuff about him, like with all the bandage on his face and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, what's that about?" And then it was the music video for, I forget what the song's called, "Save Your Tears," and I was like, "Oh, this is the greatest song ever," for like a week and a half, and I was like, "I never want to hear this again."
Okay, so like a weekly occurrence for me then. Like, fuck. Discover a song, play the shit out of it, get tired of it. Don't listen to it for 3 years. Just rinse and repeat.
That pretty much sounds exactly like me. Mainly with pop music, I've gone through multiple Lady Gaga phases. I still think she's a
Dude,
jam.
She's on a different level. If you like compared to, like she doesn't have the amount of success that some of the other kind of stars right now have, but like she's fucking like she's talented.
Oh yeah,
Holy
for sure.
Shit.
She can sing her ass off, bro. But what else did I give you? The Wolfpack song, the Disco Ulysses song. That whole.
I like the bass line on that one. That was a jam.
Dude, Joe Dart, the bass player for them, and like 5 other things from their record company. I think it's like Wolf Records or something. He's the fucking best. He's like a top 10 bass player for me. Like I just started getting into funk too because I watched the James Brown movie that came out in like 2015. Like Get On Up, I think is what it's called. And I got super into James Brown, and I'm like, okay, let's go from funk from there. So obviously I went from James Brown to like a bunch of white guys from Michigan. And I don't know, they're super cool, and they're, again, very genuine. You could tell they actually like really like all the funk and like all the stuff that they do. And it's all recorded analog and like stuff like that. I don't know. It's just, I really like it a lot. And
yeah, I was, I've been listening to James Brown too, and I was listening to one of his tracks one day, and I texted. I had a friend that lives over in Sweden.
Yeah.
And hi, Johan. I texted him. I was like, "How much coke do you think James Brown did in his life?" Just the energy of the energy from his music, and like I
Mhm.
watched some live performances. I'm like,
Mhm.
that man definitely did a few lines before he went on stage.
Oh, good lord! Of course he did. And if you've seen, you know how he dances, and you can see like his fingers going all over the place.
Yeah.
If you look at his fingers, if like he's fining people in the band for fucking up. Like if you see a 1 go to someone, that's $10. 2 is $20, etc., when he's dancing.
Oh,
And
fine. I thought you said finding.
no, like fining people. Yeah, he was not the nicest band leader. Fantastic musician, not a great human being. But hey, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But
Let's talk about guitars.
Go ahead, man.
Let's talk about guitars. What?
Hmm.
I don't know. What do you got?
Favorite
Favorite gear?
gear. I use a Vox AC15 right now, which when I bought it, I was kind of like, like I really wanted like a Marshall or an Orange, but I've really come to fucking like it. I think it's fantastic. And I've been using an Eastwood. I don't exactly know what like serial number or like specific
Model or
guitar it is.
anything,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know anything like that. Also, I should clarify before we get started on anything, I am very much so like not specific brands, and like I don't know the technical aspects of my guitars. I'm like, it's a hunk of wood with strings on it, and I'm gonna play it super hard. And like I like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate guitars and all that stuff, but I feel like it's a mean to an end, and like I'm a smart enough guy, but that stuff doesn't click with me in my head.
Nah, in the same way. I see some of these producers and basically, mainly producers.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking, you ever heard of Deadmau5?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadmau5. Like if you look at his studio,
Mm-hmm.
let me see if I can. It's insane. The man has like
Mhm.
so much. I was telling my friend about it, and it looks like fucking mission control at NASA.
Oh my god,
Look at that shit.
that's
He
nuts,
just catches,
dude.
This is how he writes music.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I understand that. I
Mhm.
understand that. And I
Mhm.
understand that. Very sorry, I just forgot this is audio only. No one can see this. But just Google Deadmau5 Studio if you want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Any of this crap on the side, and those are monitors, that makes sense.
Mm.
Any of this shit on the side, I'm just like, what's happening here?
No, I always wanted to get into all that stuff, like like producing my own stuff and like I don't know, like with my own studio or something. I literally do not have the patience. I'm an incredibly impatient person, so it's difficult for me to do that. But we'll get there one day.
We'll get there. Or like with hell, even these mixer,
Mhm.
like
Hmm.
I understand you can route to different channels, but then some people get into doing like patches and stuff,
Mhm.
and there's external and internal outputs and like just all this shit. I don't understand. I'd much rather pay somebody to. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
setting up for this, I realize now why podcasts have producers. I thought like, what do you need? What do you need a producer? No, that's what you need a producer for.
Oh yeah, I listen to a decent amount of podcasts, not music stuff though, mostly like scary stuff. But that's just because
Word.
I like scary stuff. I've been kind of trying to make my own music lately. I don't know, like I'm trying to work on like a 2-piece type of band. Like it's just kind of me, a guitar, and then a drummer. But I need to get someone that's super into it as much as I am, because I want to like fly around Jack White type of shit. But like he's talented, so like I gotta live up to that.
He's Jack White, you're you.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one's gonna be like, people think I wrote Phantom of the Opera, so it's whatever. Get it?
People think Jack White wrote Phantom of the Opera.
No, people think I wrote Phantom of the Opera. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh shit!
Yeah, right. Terrible
Took a minute
jokes.
for that to click.
Terrible jokes.
My
You want
sister's gonna disown me now.
you wanna come see terrible jokes? You come to me, man. I am the king. My roommates and parents and friends can attribute to that. I've been kicked out of the house on multiple occasions when I say shit.
Jesus.
But
What bands have you played in?
I
Have you played in any bands? I guess.
I played in 1 or 2 bands. Just not to get too deep into myself, but like I played.
No, that's the point of the show.
Oh, fair enough.
I bring people on so I don't have to talk.
All right, I'll sit here and I'll talk my ass off.
Yeah,
man.
you talk your ass off. Go for it, brother.
So like I was in a band in high school, like a lot of people were. Punk rock type of band. Again, Green Day, Blink-182 type stuff. Me and the other singer in the band, who's a dear friend, still to this day would like do dick jokes and stuff on stage, like as teenagers do. And we made like 2 albums in his garage that like 15 people listened to, and 2 of which were my mom and my dad. But kind of after that, I went to music college and then more or less spiraled into depression and anxiety and was like, I'm never going to play music again because I'm not good enough. And that continued for several years until pretty recently. And then I've been filling in on guitar with this band in Cedar Rapids called The Unincorporated. And they're pretty cool. And they think that I'm good at guitar, so that's fun. And I've just been kind of jamming with people. Again, still trying to like push myself out there and do stuff. I'm not terribly experienced, but I have a lot of excitement. I have a lot of...
Well,
what's the word? No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it sounds like we're at about the same spot because I'm just... Dude, I'm just going around and talking to people and meeting people in the music scene. And like, all right, yeah, they're not all going to jam with you, but like, hey, this person knows this person, and that person is like wanting to do something, and they know 2 more people that want like it.
It's all about who you know.
Yeah, like networking and shit. But like on the depression and anxiety thing, like that's relatable because I keep getting drawn back into music. I'm like, I'm depressed. I'm never going to write again. I've lost my creative drive. And then, 3 hours later, I'm in here like,
That's always what kind of kept me going too. Like, even if I was just making little shit like in my room and like on my iPhone and stuff, even just that was fulfilling. And like, I'm again starting to get to the point where I can actually like go up to people and be like, hey, do you want to play something with me? And most of the time I'm like, no, get the fuck out of my face. How'd you get in here? But like, but sometimes they're like,
wait, where is this happening?
Their houses. It's fine. It's like
houses.
like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. But just breaking into houses in the greater Iowa area. But like,
that's not me. I don't. I don't do that. I would never break into somebody's house.
Oh yeah, no, me either. I just, if any police are listening to this, I am a good Christian boy. Yeah, I would never do anything. But yeah, just like,
hello FBI agent taking a listen to.
No, just like, again, having that confidence to go out there and kind of actually do it is something that I've really struggled with in my life, and I'm really starting to get to that point where I can kind of go out there and do stuff. Like, all my friends are like, Andrew, you're good at guitar. Why don't you go out there and do that? And I'm like, you should walk around in my mind for like 15 minutes. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Do you ever get it when you're writing and you just get, and these can, it can last for like days and at certain points weeks for me, but like every single idea that comes onto the guitar is just garbage. Like, this is horrible.
Is like, if you brought this to me, if someone brought this to me, I would spit in their face and be like, no, why'd you do this?
Yeah. Even if it's like good and other people, that's something I got to work on, is other people telling me my music is good. Like my sister, the same one that would disown me, because she's like choir trained and opera trained and all that. And
yeah.
Like, she's watched the whole like 4-hour Phantom of the Opera thing. So like, she told me that my songs were good, and I was like, oh, thank you. And I truly do appreciate it, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's like, I have issues with that too, like really internalizing and believing the compliments that people give you. Because like, I'm sure you're the same way, but like if someone says something bad about my music or something, or like not even bad, just like a criticism, it like runs around in my brain for days and days and days.
Oh
and days.
yeah, no, I've gotten that. Or it's like, hey, use more compression.
I'm like, damn it, why didn't I think of that?
Fix that in the mix. The drums are too loud. And I was like, fuck yeah, I wish. Where were you 5 days ago before I sent this out to Spotify? Christ.
Like, I'm a fool. I should have known that. But like, then when someone gives me like this is really good, man, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, just throw it off to the side, enjoy it in like years to come at some point. But I'm really starting to work on like giving myself credit, and like not patting yourself on the back, but just like when you do something cool, being like, hey, that's cool. Like, I don't know, again, like internalizing good idea or internalizing positive feelings, because like I don't want all my music and everything I'm making to turn into like a negative thing. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I had this weird, surprisingly enough, I was sober when I had this epiphany.
Oh yeah.
But I think I was just driving around in my car, and I had this epiphany that like, this sounds like a stoner thought, but you can sense like certain energies in music.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I am unfortunately a Guns N' Roses fan, so I have a love-hate with them. Mostly hate. I say is I literally just spent $200 on a ticket a couple hours ago. So, and I hate them. But no, with Chinese democracy, it was like every single song has this energy of like the people that like, not so much the members, because it was revolving doors of different musicians and guitar players and drummers, but like I could hear like Axl's lyrics and his voice, and like this dude's been, he brought a lot of it on himself, but this dude's been fucked over like so many times. So I can just hear that in the songs. Like, yeah, a lot of people hurt you, but like, you can, certain songs you can just tell.
Oh yeah,
and get certain energies out of it.
I firmly, I don't even think that's a stoner thought. I think that's like an accurate thought, because like I'm
but I would most people wouldn't come to that conclusion unless they were high, though.
Most people are fucking idiots.
Point taken.
No, but like, just not to again get into the energy thing too much, but like I've recently discovered that I'm like an empath. If like, you know what that is? It's like you can
enlighten me.
No, it's just like you can kind of feel other people's energies and like what their emotions are, and kind of you take it on yourself. Like I'll be hanging out with someone, and I'll be like, why? Like I'll be like tapping my foot really hard and like breathing really hard, and my heart's going really fast, and I'm like, I'm really anxious. Why is that? And I'll like look over at someone, and someone else is tweaking balls, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking that on.
Dude, that's like really. It's out there, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that this was a thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's fascinating.
I have to like walk up to like I have to put up my shield thing or whatever, and I know all this sounds like bullshit, but like Google it, it's true. But like I have to like put up my shield to not take in other people's emotions, because like again, I'll find myself getting like real angry at something when I'm not even like I'm not even
nothing
thinking
to be
about
angry about.
Yeah, exactly. And like that kind of stuff happens, and like obviously like dealing with anxiety and stuff and trying to figure out what emotions are mine and all that. But like, yeah, you can definitely hear energy in people's music. You can feel energy when you're walking around with someone. Like when I feel a bad energy after someone, I just won't hang out with them. Won't go anywhere near them. Don't want anything to do with them.
That's fair.
And like, I remember I was in high school and I was dating this girl who had a terrible taste in music. I'm sorry if you ever hear this. I'm not going to say names. But
what was she into?
She was into a lot of country, although she did get me into Ben Folds, so like, all right, that's chill. I kind of like Ben Folds. But she was like, you need to listen to this Josh Groban song. It was like a Christmas Josh Groban song.
No, I'm thinking of someone else. Continue.
No, just like you can really feel how hard he practiced on the song and like how good it is, and there's like literally nothing in his voice, and I was like, oh, do you want to hear something that I think is cool and that feels a lot of emotion? She's like, yeah. And I played what's the song called? It's the Chester Bennington or the Linkin Park song, Given Up, where he like screams for like 45 seconds.
Oh dude, that's nuts. Did they ever do that live?
Yeah.
Do you know they did?
Yeah. He does that live, and you can see like the fucking veins in the side of his head when he screams like that. R.I.P. Chester, by the way. But like, fucking God. And I've realized that with a lot of like just people that I hung out with in high school, and like just in general, that I have radically different music tastes than people. Besides like people that I hang out with, aka cool people. But like, I was like at my job, I'll just be hanging out with someone, and I'll be like, what music do you like? Oh, I like everything, which is code for like I don't really like anything.
Not to go off on a side thing here, but please. Like the that reminds me of most of the Tinder interactions I have.
Oh yeah.
I'll match with somebody and I'll ask them, so what kind of music you're into? Oh, I like everything except for country. And like, all right, that really helps me out.
Like, you got something specific for me? Like, yeah, I love Pitbull. Click. No, we're not doing this.
Yeah, no, we're not doing this.
Oh man, no. At least you're getting people to respond to you on Tinder. I got nothing, dude.
Well, neither do I. I've been like on and off the thing, and I'm just staying off now because I went on and I was like getting nothing because I'm going on there too much, right? And somehow that translated to I am ugly. And it made me like think really bad thoughts about myself. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna put this away for a while until I learn to not.
Oh no, I'm totally like that too. I've been told I'm better in the room, so like. People see pictures of me and they're like, but like I can get talking, and I'm generally a semi-funny type of person, so I go with that. But it's whatever.
Yeah. I'm a little chonk, but I got personality.
dude, same. I'm Polish, and I have gotten the Polish thighs. So like, if I wanted to, I could like AJ Dillon it and like crush a watermelon with my thighs. But like, I don't know if anyone wants to see that.
The quad father.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you do. If so, contact me. I'll do an OnlyFans. We'll get this going.
Yeah, boy.
I was say we kind of trained off of music though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
That's all right.
So, you ever try DMT?
I have not. I actually, Joe Rogan. Yeah. I just stopped smoking weed actually.
I didn't know you were.
Yeah, I used to smoke. I smoked weed basically every day for like 2.5 years. Yeah, right. Yeah, Snoop Dogg. But yeah, just like again dealing with some stuff and like wasn't really accurately dealing with it.
Yeah, it'll fuck you up if you're not in a good mindset.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a friend tell me like a couple weeks ago, he was like, if you use that to cope, you're gonna have a bad time.
Oh yeah, dude. I just ended up sitting on the couch watching TV and playing video games, which is fine for like some nights, but not every night for like 2.5 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like I maybe 3 to 5 no 2 to about 2 to 4 times a week I'll have a bowl or two.
Oh yeah,
but like I need to go on a tolerance break right now. But no, I like to have it. I like to make it like an event when I do it because I enjoy it better. I feel like I'm wasting it if I sit there and just play video games.
Oh yeah.
But like, I'll just sit there and just like, just in a few hits have the whole, and then just go lay down on my bed for 4 hours and like.
Oh dude,
yeah, I feel all right.
Listening to music while stoned is the fucking best.
You don't look at certain songs the same way again. Like,
oh no,
you hear that and then you're just like, oh yeah, I had a like outer space experience.
I don't know. Am I being interesting enough?
No, you are.
Swag.
I am not a good conversationalist on like literally just one specific topic.
So you got to
like,
jump around a little bit.
I have to jump around a little bit. Plus, this is only my second episode.
No, I got
so
you,
I haven't
dude.
like honed my host skills yet.
I've never been on a podcast before, so this is a new thing
what
for us.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right?
It's like you've done this before.
Oh, yeah?
Jesus.
Just if anyone wants me to be on a podcast, I'll do it. But, like, again, it'll be like this. So I don't know what you want.
Sick.
But, just going back to music a little bit, like, I just had this thought that, like, you ever listen to Queens of the Stone Age?
A few songs.
They are...
The most I remember about them is their singer kicked somebody in the head.
He did do that, and he should be sorry for that because that's fucked up, and he is a fucked up person. But they're like a top 2 band for me. I love basically everything they do, and I wanted to be Josh Homme since I was a small child. Or not a small child, since I was in high school, I wanted to be him, and I wanted to be Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio, now Blink-182, but he's like 45 and fat, so like whatever, man. But no, I just remember the distinct feeling of, I don't know if you had this, but like I really wanted to play music, but I didn't necessarily want to be me. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know what you're talking about. Like with the GNR thing, I was like, fuck, I want to play like Slash. I want to be like Slash. And it wasn't, I want to be original and have my own style and input. No, I want to play like Slash.
I did that with Matt Skiba. Like I bought, like I didn't have enough money for Les Pauls, but like I would buy Les Paul knockoffs.
No one has enough money for a Les Paul.
Yeah, right. My ultimate dream guitar is a Les Paul Gold Top. But oh my god, I don't have like $2,000 just sitting around. But if I did, I'm coming for it. But also, I'll destroy my back. But, like, just in high school, I would listen to that, and I was like, Matt Skiba understands me like no one else does. And don't get me wrong, I really, really like Alkaline Trio still, but then I was so into it that I just didn't want to be me. I just wanted to, like, kidnap Matt Skiba and, like, become part of Alkaline Trio, and they'll just kind of roll with it.
All right. No judgment. No, dude,
I'm pretty
I
open.
was, yeah, I got into, I started playing guitar when I was 14. No. Fuck. Yeah, when I was 15, I started playing guitar. But between about 16 and 18, I had this delusion for a couple of years that I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to like live on the streets and play music and get famous just like Guns N' Roses did. Yeah, didn't pan. Well, I didn't do it, but I thankfully came to my senses. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna.
Yeah,
that's not the move.
That's not sustainable. Like maybe it was back in the day, but now
It was back in the day,
not.
but there's just it's oversaturated. There's so much.
Oh yeah,
there is so much, like on the market. You can't make yourself stick out, and even if you do, like if you're that good, like like Blink, Green Day, Guns, Metallica, Sabbath, the Stones, the Beatles, any of them, like if you've seen any of your favorite bands live, like they're good.
Oh yeah, like they put on a show and they're actually like tight and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they pay attention to like the little stuff, and like there's like shit that I hear in mixes sometimes, like what prompted them to sit there and go, oh yeah, let's add that, or like let's play this riff this certain way and let's arrange it like this. I'm like, they're all just on different levels.
Oh yeah, my favorite guitar solo of all time is in Sympathy for the Devil, like the bit at the end when Keith Richards just like loses his mind and does
he
that
just fucking
dope-ass
goes
solo.
off.
Yeah, that's the fucking coolest thing ever. It's not even hard. Like, you know, like I've looked it up and like it's not really that difficult, but just the way that he plays it and the way that it fits in the song is like, how the fuck did you do that while strung out on whatever drugs you were strung out on at the time?
The important part is that it's plural, drugs, not drug.
There's going to be a nuclear apocalypse. There's going to be cockroaches and Keith Richards left.
And Betty White and Ozzy.
Oh, that's true. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And you're talking about like seeing like your favorite bands and stuff.
Yeah.
You ever been to Summerfest in Milwaukee by chance?
I got to quit rocking back in my chair. I have not. I'm going in September though.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm going too.
Fuck yeah.
My
Which day are you going to? Do you know yet?
September 17th. I'm going to see Bleachers.
Word, I'm going on the 18th to see Guns.
Nice. Oh, I didn't know they were playing.
They're playing
like amphitheater or like
whatever headlining state. Like they're
Oh yeah, it's probably
they're
like
one of
the
those
big-ass amphitheater.
and then like 2 months, like in July on the 16th, I'm seeing them at Target Field in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, I saw A Day to Remember there.
Fuck yeah.
That place is fucking sick. Oh, and I saw Florence and the Machine there. That place is fucking sick.
Oh, there was. Have you ever heard their song "Say My Name"?
Yeah.
There's a remix that like, dude, that just goes off. I love it. But
no, go ahead.
Day to Remember though. Yeah, my brother-in-law's like really into them.
There was the first.
I've only heard their like top 5 on Spotify. Full disclosure.
I liked them a lot at the time. I'm not a huge fan of them anymore, but that's just I don't know. Taste change, but like it was the first show that I'd ever been to where people moshed. So like, you know, we were kind of standing around and then like A Day to Remember came on and like they'd been moving around a little bit before. It was like A Day to Remember and like All Time Low. Oh, like side tangent. I've seen All Time Low 3 times without meaning to see All Time Low. They opened for Blink-182, they opened for A Day to Remember, and they opened for Green Day. Like I wanted to see those 3 bands, but I ended up seeing All Time Low 3 separate times.
I feel like I saw them, maybe. Were you at Warped Tour in Milwaukee in 2018?
No, I'd never been to Warped Tour.
Never been to Warped Tour?
That is a huge disappointment and regret of mine that I never went to Warped Tour.
You just wait. They'll bring it back in like 5 or 10 years and sell people on the nostalgia.
God, I hope so. I'll see Blink-182
I mean, they
when they're in
won't
their
because
rockers.
none of us. Wait, what was that?
I'll see Blink-182 when they're in their rockers. Or like,
yeah,
like when they got like their, I don't know,
they're getting wheeled out in their fucking wheelchair and their canes and
yeah, right. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, All Time Low. Seen them 3 separate times by accident, but the best and worst show I've ever seen have both been at Summerfest.
Which bands?
The worst show I've ever seen was pretty disappointing because it's one of my favorite bands. Was Alkaline Trio. Just talking about them. And it wasn't because of like just sloppy play or anything. Like, don't get me wrong, that was part of it. But Matt Skiba was going through some shit at the time, and the first thing he did was shotgun a beer. He was like, "Let's go!" and like shotgunned a beer, and you could tell he hadn't shaved or showered in like 2 or 3 days.
Oh shit!
And it's just like, Matt, just talk to somebody, man. Like he's better now, but like it was like he was fucking up stuff. Like they did radio at the very end when like everyone sings along, and he was singing something different, and it's like. That was really disappointing. But the best show I've ever seen was Bleachers at Summerfest. Holy shit. They were
good. That good?
Fan-fucking-tastic. That's why I'm going to see them again. Best show I've ever seen. They played. I don't like Fleetwood Mac that much, but they played "Go Your Own Way," and I was losing my mind.
Why?
I was jumping around because it was so good. Oh man, they're so into it, and they had like it's an interesting band combination because they have like drummer, like 2 separate keyboard players, a saxophone player, a bass player, and Jack Antonoff singing, and it's just. They can do all sorts of shit with that, and like I really like all their songs because like it's like half electronic and half normal stuff, and it's just, oh my god! And they were so like into it and so energetic with the crowd, and again feeling all that energy. It was just amazing.
Sick. I've seen.
No, go ahead.
You listen to Mayday Parade?
I have heard of Mayday Parade, but I have not listened.
All right, I saw them at Warped Tour in Milwaukee
Mhm.
in 2018, and then.
Mm.
4 months later
Mhm.
in Milwaukee at the Eagles Club or the Rave or whatever that place is
Oh,
called.
I've been there. I saw Arctic Monkeys there.
Oh, you've seen Arctic Monkeys?
2 times.
I've never heard a single one of their songs.
You
I just
disgust
gotta
me.
love 'em.
I'm gonna walk out of this interview. In
Please kill me. I
disgust.
don't want to be alive.
No, you're good, man. Again, I'm not trying to judge people, but yeah, like
No,
like them
I
a
do
lot.
that to people all the time. Like, you don't listen to this band. Get the fuck out of my house.
Who do you think you are? But I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you?
No,
saying?
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. But on the worst and best shows thing, that for mine it was the best one. Was I saw GNR in St. Louis in 2017. So I drove all the way down to St. Louis from Dubuque. Got there at like 2 in the afternoon. Dicked around the city for a few hours, and they were playing. The Rams had already moved out of LA at that, moved out of St. Louis at that point. Doesn't make them a better team, but we're just in a nicer city, same shit team.
Yeah, right.
But
they got Stafford now, so maybe they'll be good. But who knows?
I want Stafford to do well.
Okay, just
I like him.
Just to stop the podcast for 1 second. Fuck the Detroit Lions. All right, that's enough. All right, we're back. I hate Detroit.
We can have discourse. Why
do I hate Detroit?
We're Packer fans, but like,
why do I hate Detroit so much?
Yeah. I've just heard Packer fans laughing at them because they're such a sad team, but
They're also 1-13 in the playoffs since 1958. I just want to point that out. But I don't know. I just have this distinct hatred of Detroit because it always seems like they're the nastiest team in the NFC North, and I don't mean that in a good way. Like Sue and like Stafford, when he was a rookie, I remember he threw a pick six to M.D. Jennings, who terrible Packers player, but he had this one pick six. And they're running down the sideline, and B.J. Raji's turned around, and Stafford dives at B.J. Raji's right knee to try to hurt him. And I was like, okay, fuck you, Detroit. And then ever since then, I've had a distinct hatred of Detroit.
There's that hit on MVS last fall. He went up for Blake Rodgers just bombed it. And MVS went up for a pass in the corner, hit him in the helmet.
Oh,
remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That Aaron Jones run right at the start of the second half. That was like, all right, we made up for it. But no, I saw Guns in St. Louis in 2017, so I drove all the way there. Then they were playing at the Rams old stadium, and you heard about in like '91 he started that riot.
Oh yeah, with when James Hetfield set himself on fire.
No, that was in Montreal.
Different.
There's another one in St. Louis. A fan was taking pictures of Axel.
Oh, is that the one where he jumped in the crowd?
He jumped in the crowd and took his camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got banned from playing there for like years and years and years. And then 2017 was their first show since that happened. So I was like, when I heard they were going there, I was like, fuck, I got to get down there. But they they came on at about like 7:30. They played for 3.5 hours.
Damn.
Like straight. No in between.
Damn.
Deftones opened. That
really good.
is up there for the worst show I've ever seen.
Really?
It might have just been where I was, because I was pretty close to the stage, but I was like kind of off to the right. It might have just been the position I was in, but the mixing was trash.
Ugh.
And I think it was the mixing because I saw them with Tanner in Minneapolis 3 days later.
Yeah.
And
they're way better.
No, they still sucked. So I don't think it was the mixing. But no, yeah, they played 3.5 hours. They had like a balanced what little music there is released by this fucking band. There was 3.5 hour show, and dude, I was just wiped at the end of it. It was one of those, you leave a concert and you're just fucking wiped. You were just there for like 5 hours and you're like,
that was amazing, but I need to go to sleep right now.
I need to sleep, but I also can't because I'm so like what did I just watch? No, the worst. It's a tie. So it's either Deftones in Minneapolis and St. Louis because one, I just don't like the Deftones.
Fair enough.
And two, when I saw them live, the bass, they had the bass like way fucking up. I was like, I can't hear the guitars. They had like what's the singer's name?
Chino something?
Chico, whatever.
I don't remember his name.
They had like so much fucking reverb on his mic. And I was like, I can't hear a word you're saying. All I hear is like like this angelic shit and just repeat like that. And I'm like, this sucks. And yeah, there's either that or I saw Chevelle open for Disturbed in Des Moines in 2016.
Yeah.
And that wasn't very good.
Really?
Because I don't like Chevelle.
I like the odd Chevelle song, but they're not one of my favorites or anything.
The only song, like The Red, that's as much as that's as much as I want to go into Chevelle is The Red. That's a good song, but other than that, like I explored their catalog after the fact. I was like, this kind of sucks. But
I'm just trying to think of other shows that I saw. The loudest show I've ever seen was Queens of the Stone Age in the rave or the Eagles Club or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that they played one note and it was like being punched in the chest. It was like I was like, oh, okay, this is what it's gonna be like. And I remember we took my buddy's younger brother. It was his first concert, and the whole time we were there, like when we first walked in, he's like, "What's that weird smell?" And I was like, I don't know, maybe like a skunk got in here or something. And he's like, the whole time he's just like, I keep smelling it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Nothing about that. So we introduced him to what weed was that day.
Wait, you guys got home?
No. I mean, like,
or you were at the show and he was like, "What is that?"
Like we were at the show and like, Royal Blood opened for them, which is
Royal Blood's good. Oh yeah, I like them.
They were super good. And like he just kept asking what the smell was. Like he thought something was wrong, and we're like, no,
you sweet summer child.
Right? No, I don't want to destroy your innocence at this show.
I know my dad's not going to be listening to this. He's very supportive, but just the amount of language we've used.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna just tell him like, don't listen to this episode. So yeah, and I only say that because he came with me because I wasn't old enough to book a hotel, so he came with me to the St. Louis show, but he didn't go to the show. He did his own thing. But I was at the show and they were passing a joint around, and I don't know, it couldn't have been the same joint. A few came my way. So I'm sitting there, they're playing whatever song, and after one of the songs in between, Axl goes, he was like, all right, I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I'm sure all of you are, but I'm just going to assume someone's having a medical emergency right now. And and then they're playing the intro, and he's like, medical emergencies smell a lot better these days. And then like 3 days, or not 3 days, like a week later, they were playing a show in Denver, and a fan threw. They threw a joint on stage, and he picked up the joint off the stage, took a hit, and tossed it back into the crowd.
That's probably what I would do, dude. The only thing I've ever had thrown at me when I'm playing, I got a bottle thrown at me one time.
Like a glass bottle?
Yeah.
Did it break?
No, it broke in the what you call it, the wall behind me.
Oh yeah.
Like threw it at me.
Oh, I thought it hit you.
No. Like it threw it at me, and I kind of moved out of the way. It was like we were in a bar in La Crosse, and someone threw it. I'm not even sure if he knew what he was doing. He was so drunk, but he just kind of yeeted it at me, and then I kind of moved off to the side, and I was real like confused about what happened. And then people, like not even security, people just like came up to him and they were like, "Hey, you should probably leave," because it was like a tiny bar. It was weird. But that's what I want to get back to, is playing shows in bars and getting stuff thrown at me.
I've wanted to play like with a band for so long. I know I'm not good. I'm a pretty adept guitar player, but I know I'm not good enough to like be part of a sustainable band and like actually write and understand. You have to understand it on a certain level.
Yeah, you gotta like fill up the sound or whatever. Like what?
Yeah, more on the theory side and being able to write good songs. I'm not there. I'm just kind of vibing with guitar shit right now.
No,
because I used to be sit there for hours and noodle and play around with it, and that's fine. Maybe I'll get back to it one day. But like, I'm more interested in my like electronic kind of shit right now. But
no, dude,
man, I miss live shows.
Same. I'm so excited for that September 17th concert. I can't even accurately articulate how.
What was the last one you saw?
May have been Florence and the Machine at the Target Center in Minneapolis, but that was at least 2 years ago.
Oh fuck, we were at different venues then.
Really?
Yeah, you said the Target Center, right?
Yeah, like the big thing in downtown Minneapolis, right?
Was it like a basketball arena looking thing?
Kind of, yeah. It was like a fairly big stadium.
Was it like
where,
an indoor?
It goes up on the sides.
Was it indoor?
Yeah.
Okay, no, the one I'm going to is at Target Field, like where the Twins play.
Oh, okay, misunderstanding. But yeah, I got you. But yeah, mine was indoors, and Florence was absolutely fantastic. Her voice sounds just like it does on the
like
studio song.
The sidebar about them. I saw their Spotify bio, and it's literally just like a period.
But one thing that was kind of funny is me and my friend, like me and my two friends went, and one of my friends brought his girlfriend, and we like walked the two of them to their seats, and they kind of like sat down, and like, oh, okay, we're gonna go find our seats, which was like on the other side of the stadium, and then two security guards were sitting in these two like chairs, and they both got up and left, and we were both like, there's two chairs right there, and we sat down and watched the whole show from the security chairs, and like 2 times different security guards came over and like looked at us, and they're like, it's fine, and like walked away. It was so fucking
Did they
funny.
know?
I don't know, dude. We didn't tell them. But oh man, that was a fun ass show. Except Florence at one point was like, this is before the pandemic, remind you,
right?
And she was like, I want you all to enjoy the love and hug the person next to you. And I was like, under no circumstances.
I do not touch me.
You touch me, I will fight you. You were talking about like just sitting and like practicing and vibing on the guitar. Like I have a really hard time just sitting there and like practicing scales or like, you know, trying to get better in that way. But I just kind of sit there and I go like, will close my eyes and just kind of go for the emotion that I'm trying to evoke with the guitar. And that's been seeming to get me where I need to go at this point.
So like, how's that work for you? Because for me, I do that, but I can't seem to translate, emotion. I can't seem to translate that into, onto the neck.
Generally what I do, and it's kind of cheating, but like I'll hit a big like E or E minor chord, like,
yeah.
And then like I'll kind of go down to like I mainly use pentatonic scales. So I go down to like the E minor pentatonic or the E major pentatonic. And like I'll go down there and I'll just kind of move around through that scale and try and do something that'll make me feel something or do something kind of cool, or like I'll try to emulate stuff that I listen to. Like I started working on like I just said, I don't really work with theory, but I watched this video about theory and I was trying to do the Josh Homme scale where he kind of moves around. Instead of doing like the major pentatonic, he'll throw in like minor notes and like make it sound all fucking weird. But like just trying to do that and make something sound cool as opposed to making it sound super technical. Because one of my favorite guitar players is John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And what he does is like, he's considered a virtuoso, but like a lot of what he does is more emotional based than it is like doing like all sorts of scales and shit, which is kind of the way that I come from. I will go simple as opposed to complicated most of the time if you can get more of emotion out of it, if that makes sense. Like I'm not.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You said, and sorry, my brain just stopped at just the right time. You said Frusciante's more like emotional. He knows his shit, but he's like emotional, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the same way that, and I talk about Slash like a lot.
No, you're fine.
But like the way his playing goes is he's not, and he knows he's not the most technically talented. And like there's better players out there than Slash. Like I know he's not doing anything new, but very few of those people with like riffs and melodies and like he's like way ahead there.
Oh, for
and
sure.
like emotional playing and like those are actual like good. Not to be one of those gatekeepers, like emotion over technical ability. And I'm like no, like some players just have that capacity where we can where they can just pick it up and they know their theory and they're like, okay, these notes are going to convey the emotion that I want. And it's different when you've been doing it for 40 years, but yeah, fuck, that's just, it's a foreign concept to me to be able to like get the emotion that you want out of an instrument to a point.
No, yeah,
I've had a few moments where I've been able to, but more so on the piano than the guitar.
because that's just kind of at least the way that I want to make music and stuff is like I just want to connect with people and I want to make something cool that other people will be like, oh, that's cool. I don't listen to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, again, I go back to like I love. Excuse me, I just burped while I was talking. Like I love.
I'm gonna throw a compressor on that.
throw some delay on there, like
and a reverb. I got a new kick drum now.
I'm glad to be of service, but I love.
You'll get the royalties in a few weeks.
You're goddamn right. I will. No, I'm just kidding. No,
yeah, no, my dad's definitely not gonna listen to that.
I'm sorry. I swear up a storm. I'm like a sailor, but anyway, I really like early-ish punk rock, like 70, like late 70s to like mid 80s type punk rock, like Black Flag, Minor Threat, Misfits, all that kind of stuff, Bad Brains, because there's not a lot of like technical wizardry that goes on to it. Like, I mean, like they can't, like they don't have the money, and B, they didn't have the technology at the time to make it sound pretty. So it sounds fucking crazy and weird and like, I don't know, like lo-fi and stuff, but you could still hear all the energy that they're putting into it. And like, I don't know, Bad Brains, dude. If you haven't listened to Bad Brains, holy shit. They're so good.
What? I don't remember what the album was called or any of the songs, but I think there's a triangle in the equation somewhere.
I'm not sure, but
I don't even remember. It was, but I've heard a few of their songs, and it's, yeah, you could tell they were just jamming.
Oh yeah, dude. I love them. I'll if I ever get a tattoo, which I probably won't, it'll be the Black Flag bars, like their logo on like my shoulder or something. I'll be like, what's that? And I'll be like, it's just something to remind me to be cool and punk rockish. Also, my background on my phone, I'm about to show it to you.
Word.
Once I can get it open, is the Bad Brains album cover. It's like a light.
It's that one.
Yeah,
it's that one.
Yeah, it's a lightning strike, like destroying the White House. But yeah, like I really like all that kind of stuff because you can.
The
really...
OverDubs podcast does not support the destruction of the White House.
But yeah, like just all that emotion and rawness, and like I wish I could tap into that at least somewhat, because I feel like a lot of music now is like saturated and just like made purely for commercial purposes.
Yeah, and like, hey, that's a big problem for me with the industry is like, hey, this person has a new sound and they got successful. All right, now everyone's playing copycat.
Yeah, right. Okay, question, because you like Led Zeppelin, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Greta Van Fleet. Yes.
Fuck no.
Right? They're literally
Fuck them.
Led
Good for like they're obviously if we look at it from an objective standpoint, they're talented, but they're not. They're just blatantly ripping them off. And then the singer coming out there and fucking saying, oh, well, you know, I guess there are some similarities. We were kind of influenced by them. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You are literally Led Zeppelin. I don't remember I think it's like...
Even down to the clothing.
They even dressed like it was the 70s. Also, the guitar player is not nearly as good as Jimmy Page, but like, who is?
Nobody is.
Yeah, right?
Except for Hendrix. Hendrix rules all.
Oh yeah, Hendrix is the best guitar player in the
ever. Like anybody to ever touch. It's Jimi Hendrix.
Can I tell you a story about Jimi Hendrix?
Do your thing, yeah.
All right. So Jimi Hendrix, like when he was coming up, was living in London, and Eric Clapton was doing a show, and he was like, "Hey Eric, can I come play with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, we could play any song you want except for this one song, and I think it's a Son House song, where it's called Killing Floor." And he's like, just not that song. It's too fast. It's too whatever, technical. I'm not really super into that. And Jimmy's like, all right. And then he gets up on stage with Eric at the show, and he starts playing that song immediately. And Eric Clapton, like, tries to keep up with it, can't, and, like, literally unplugs his guitar and leaves. And then... I
didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it gets better. And then after that, Jimi Hendrix, like, they was like, oh, Jimi Hendrix killed Clapton. Because this is the time when, like, they called Clapton was God. Like, you know, all the time. And then Jimi Hendrix is playing, like, he's bigger, and he's playing a show at maybe the Hammersmith Odeon, but do not quote me on that. And he is, like, 4 days after Sgt. Pepper comes out. And he knew Paul McCartney was going to be in the stands in the show, so he's like, oh, shit, we got to play something for Paul. So they learned Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. like the song, and then they came out and they played it for Paul, and it was super good, but he was using the whammy bar a bunch, so like the guitar was going to be super out of tune, and like they all kind of figured that out, and then Jimi Hendrix is up on stage, and he knew Clapton was out there too, because Clapton said he was going to come with Paul McCartney, and then he was like, gets into the mic and he's like, "Hey Clapton, can you come tune this for me?" And I was like, "Oh damn,
Christ.
Who else can do that to Eric Clapton besides fucking Jimi Hendrix? That's so bad."
Jimi Hendrix. I heard a story once that he would he'd make a little cut in his forehead and he'd put LSD in his headband.
Oh my god.
And tie the bandana around his head so like the LSD would just fucking hit him.
Oh my god, dude. And like I've heard about, he's so like, have you seen him in interviews? He's so soft spoken and he's so just kind of like
Very intelligent. And
oh
like,
yeah, and like peace and love and like all that kind of stuff. But you see him on stage, he's lighting shit on fire, playing guitar with his teeth. He's a fucking madman.
Yeah.
But he's so that's what I want to be. But like
yeah, we
not
all
as
want to
good
be
at
Jimi Hendrix.
yeah, but like not. I just meant like that amount of passion, not that amount of technical ability, because I will not get there.
No. Nobody can get there.
Mm-mm.
Do you think this? I just had this thought. Do you think certain artists are remembered as more talented than they actually were?
Yes.
Because like I am going to catch shit for this
Hit me.
from a lot of people.
Hit me.
Probably, but Kurt Cobain.
What like
The fact that he's dead,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's a sad thing that he killed himself, or that Courtney killed him, but I didn't say that.
I did say that. But
like he was talented, and Nirvana was at the forefront of the grunge thing. But if we're talking ability as a guitar player, I just
absolutely not.
like that's what I'm getting. Like everyone's like, he's so talented, and he's like such a mind of our time. Like yeah, he's an icon of that time and all that, but he like I think if he were still going, he wouldn't be as highly regarded.
Oh no,
if Nirvana were still a thing.
No, because he had like the 3 records or like 4 records that were all really good, but like again, technical ability, he didn't really have any of that. He was great at expression, he was great at melody and songwriting, but like you ask him to play like a technical guitar solo, absolutely not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like not that wasn't what they were about, but like what was I gonna say? No, just like it kind of influenced the next generation of guitar players to be like, oh, we don't need to be good at guitar, which is cool, but like at the same time,
At the same time, then you got now all the songs kind of sound the same.
Yeah, and like he knew what to do with the little technical ability that he had, and that wasn't the point that he wasn't good at it. You know what I mean? He was able to do it, but people didn't understand that.
Yeah, it's the people, and I know people that are very technical, but like it's also you're missing that something.
Yeah.
And that's like what Kurt Cobain had and what Hendrix had. Well, actually, we're going to take Hendrix out of that discussion because he deserves every bit of respect that he gets.
Goddamn right he does.
But like even, okay, we'll just use Kurt Cobain as the example. He had something. I don't know what it was, but he had it.
Deep emotional trauma.
Yeah. Why am I not a good guitar player then? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But he... yeah, like he just had that. I hate this phrase, but X factor. And I got it. He had it. He knew what to do with the limited ability that he had.
And it didn't hurt anything that he had fucking Dave Grohl playing drums for him.
My favorite story of Dave Grohl's is that I don't remember which record, but he didn't like what the drummer was doing, so he just went in and re-recorded all the drums.
Oh,
and didn't tell the drummer.
Yeah, it's the second Foo Fighters album. It's it escapes me. The Color and the Shape.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that one. Color and the Shape. And I was talking. You remember Tyler? Who?
Yeah.
I was talking to him about it a while back, and he was like, "Yeah, that's like when people say Dave Grohl's nice, like that was a dick move." Though.
Oh, for sure. And
but even then, it's Dave Grohl, so it doesn't seem like that. Like
he's Dave Grohl.
He's so beloved. I'm like, well, he probably had a reason for re-recording the drums. That drummer must have sucked, man.
Right? William Goldsmith is, I'm pretty sure, what his name was, because they came from the band Sunny Day Real Estate. Like him and Nate Mendel, the bass player for the Foo Fighters. Sorry, my brain is just full of absolutely useless knowledge about all this kind of stuff.
I have an equal amount of useless knowledge in music too. Like we can't do anything with it.
No,
because
dude.
you have to like you have to kiss ass to get ahead. So we can't do anything with our music knowledge. We can't make money at it. So
No, dude, I'm definitely.
fuck it. That's why we're here.
I'm not gonna kiss anybody's ass unless it's in. I'm just not gonna kiss anybody's ass. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But now I'm just thinking about like more guitar players and like musicians and stuff that I really like admire and think are cool, but like aren't necessarily like technical like that. Like early Clapton, like I do give Clapton a lot of shit because he's kind of racist and said a lot of not good things. But like early Clapton, like Cream and all that shit. Holy God,
dude! Some of those solos were just like, what is this guy doing? How? That's my question. How is he doing this?
How did you do? Did you sell your soul to the devil? Like, is this some Robert Johnson type shit? But like,
sidebar on that. Did you ever hear the story that the reason the New York Jets are so bad because Joe Namath sold his soul to the devil?
Yeah. He's like, we can win this game against the Baltimore Colts, but after that, they'll be terrible until I die. I have a New York Jets shirt and I wear it around quite a bit because people just come up to me. I had one guy come up to me, he's like, I'm sorry, and gave me a hug. And there's one guy that was just like, walked by me and he's just like, so you like Unending Sorrow, do you? And I was like, yeah.
I get it. My favorite, you showed up to a jam one night with a Bills shirt.
I still have that Bills shirt.
And I was just like, Bills. They were my number 2 team last year, just because of their fans.
Oh, yeah.
Only reason.
Did you see they drafted a offensive tackle in like the second round? The first thing he did is like upload a video of him jumping through a table. Man's a legend.
I made a bet with my dad this past playoff season, which as far as I'm concerned didn't happen. I don't know what these people are talking about with playoffs and NFL.
Fuck Tom Brady and Kevin King. I forgive you, but good Lord, man.
Fuck you, Mike Pettin.
You let him get behind you with 10 seconds.
I'm over it. Back to music. I'll have more on that when we're done with the show. But Clapton, early Cream. Jim Morrison is an interesting one to me.
Oh, I love Jim Morrison.
He was just like I've like heard ahead of his time. That's been the description of him that I've heard so much, is like he was just way ahead of his time and
just wasn't made for this world.
He was like, he was stupid fucking smart.
Oh yeah,
stupid smart.
He went to UCLA, I think.
Went to UCLA?
Yeah, I think he went to UCLA, and I think that's where all the doors were. He died.
Was it drugs?
I feel like it was drugs. I feel like it was like Bon Scott, Jimi Hendrix type shit, like asphyxiation. Like he threw up in his sleep, basically. I can't think of. I was gonna say autoerotic asphyxiation, but that is not what that is. That is something totally different. But yeah, like.
Equally as fun, just different. And died of a heart attack brought on by heroin. Okay.
Seems like all the famous musicians in the 60s were using heroin. Fucking John Lennon, Eric Clapton,
I didn't
Jim
know
Morrison.
Lennon used heroin.
Oh yeah, if you look at his late stuff like Let It Be, basically after the White Album, he used to be like in the mid 60s, like kind of not tubby, but like a little bit bigger. And then if you look at him in like 1969 and 1970, he's like rail thin. He's like
yeah, you are like doing coke or heroin. You're on something.
He's like 85 pounds, like 85, 95 pounds.
And then there's Keith Richards over here. Just he's done everything on the fucking planet, and he just like. I can't do a British accent, but yeah, he's still
British. I can't do it.
I'm still mate.
He's the one. Like this isn't about Keith Richards, but again, really cool story. Mick Jagger once called Charlie Watts, the drummer for the Rolling Stones, his drummer in an interview, and then Charlie Watts got up in the morning, put on a nice suit, walked down to Mick Jagger's room, knocked on his door, and punched him in the face, and then walked away. Never call me your drummer again, and walked away.
That I was expecting it to go in the direction of he put on a nice suit and went down to the label and said, "Hey, I'm leaving the band." No, he just goes, punches him in the fucking face.
He's like, "Don't call me your drummer again." But Keith, like when Charlie Watts was being interviewed, he's like, "I'm not the rhythmic presence of the Stones. Like I'm the drummer. I'm not the rhythmic presence. The presence is Keith. We're all going off of Keith, which I think is insane."
Because nobody goes off the guitar player. You go off the drum and the bass, like the low end.
Exactly. But Keith is just... He's got his own rhythm, and he made up all the fucking riffs, and like I don't know, man. He's just so
Exile on Main Street.
Oh yeah,
that Oh, that record's so good.
Is that your favorite Stones record?
Yeah.
Mine is Sticky Fingers.
Okay, yeah,
Like the
yeah.
one with
I
the
was trying to,
cry.
yeah, with
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
What is it? It's not on either one of those records, but my favorite song by them is I had it, now it's gone. It's on Let It Bleed. Give Me Shelter, because
Yeah.
I figured out, I didn't know this, but all the guitars are him.
All the guitars are him?
Yeah, like he plays the rhythm and he plays
Ronnie Wood wasn't?
lead. No.
Shit.
Ron Wood didn't show up until like the late
Who was their
70s.
original?
Oh, Brian Jones.
Brian Jones didn't do any of that?
No. At this point, I think the last record he really contributed to was the Satanic Majesties album. I don't remember, like our Satanic Majesties or your Satanic Majesties album. It was mainly like playing the sitar and shit. And like at that point he basically got kicked out of the album and then ended up drowning in the guy that wrote Winnie the Pooh's Pooh. The guy that wrote Winnie the Pooh's Pool.
Winnie the Pooh's Pooh.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And then
That's a stoner thought.
Right, and then they got Mick Taylor, who was like a really good lead and technical guitar player, but again, not the same thing that Keith was in. But yeah, can you tell I didn't have a lot of friends in high school?
Hey, neither did I. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, appreciate you coming on.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Sorry I talked for so long.
No, dude, you're good. This is like ideal length. I thought this was either going to go 20 minutes because we're both quiet or like an hour because neither one of us is going to shut up.
Yeah, right.
But no, I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, my pleasure, dude. I'll be back on whenever you want me, dude, to wax philosophic about anything.
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 Yes, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. I don't remember what that's from, but yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, swag.